Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the part one of the 383 build. Well, there's been other segments to this, but this is the actual build. Well, so I thought we were going to be starting. I'm glad I haven't drove the cam bearings in this yet, or put the crank in it. I got smart and, this is the block. This 383 block is that 72 block that's been giving us fits. When I fitted the crankshaft and that, we found out we were 12 thousandths out here, 10 thousandths under over here, and we needed this side to stick out 12 thousandths itself. Well, we got where this side and that side, all four corners are at the same distance now, so the block has now been squared up. This is the passenger side of the motor. Do you see a problem right there? See that lip? You come to the driver's side, that's about normal. A little high, but not much. So now that means this block has to be cut this way. So I had to mess around with the hot tank, get that going. And yeah. We got that going today. And then, yeah. Oh, so where's my stand is going crooked here, so. Kind of got I've never had so much trouble putting something together. And I guess this is what I'm coming down to. It's all about core shift. I'll show you the core shift on this again to remind you guys. The back of the block is almost perfectly centered. See how it's thick here, thin here? So that means everything, what we found out, everything was high on this corner, because this corner was high. It had the piston further down, in the back there was a 4,000. I mean, it was weird. So, and here from the back, it's almost perfectly centered. It's almost bang on. So, when you guys got your motors and you're trying to do all this special stuff, I mean, we've clearanced the route. I mean, there's a lot of time going into this motor now, and a lot of details to fix a lot of things. That's where everything racks up. And you know, I have done two 383s before, and we did not have this trouble. But those blocks we checked and had dang near perfect cam centers. So now, let's see if you answered me. Nope. Block's going to have to go back, and don't ask me what possessed me to set the heads on, but that's how much out of square this block was from the factory. The only reason I got that on, when I put the block back on here, I pinched myself. Oh man, I'm glad that 360 build's going smooth, and I know the 377 should go smooth. Well, hopefully. We did deck that block, but that was just to equal deck it, and as far as we know, that one wasn't out of square like this one. It's nobody's to blame. I mean, I guess we should have mocked it up, and well, thank God he didn't just go ahead, because he's like, how am I going to determine, you know, I will be okay? Well, I don't think I'm going to be okay, because no, an intake will not mount to this, so the front and back of the blocks got to be cut. They're not gonna fit. So, yeah. So that means it goes back to the machine shop again. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Finally get my energy up and finally back into the mood of doing things and everything. I just kind of got a car show going on in the background. You know, there's something about having that on, and it ain't the westerns and it ain't this. Having these car shows on the background kind of help. So yeah, now we got to figure out from this side to that side. It just, if I would go back in time, I would pick a different block for this 383. I would have just put this back together as an everyday 350, no problem. But when the pistons were out over at the driver's side and pistons were below deck on the passenger side, that's two different compression ratios, and for what we're putting together, that would not work. So, yeah. Oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy. So once we get that cut to where it's equal across there, and I can put an intake on, then we can actually put this thing together. So I guess we got a little bit of more of a delay, and yeah, you know, when you cut here and cut there, and when I guess from now on when I do a stroker motor, sad thing is when you go to do your motors, you actually got to use the parts that you're going to build in that block. Like those 400 blocks, I couldn't do anything until they were bored and honed. And the 400, I wanted it decked irregardless, so now I'm hoping that he didn't. He just said he did took 7 or 10 thousandths off. That'd be okay yet. That's going to be okay. But this particular motor here has been, this block has been nothing but a pain in the old butt ever since I got it. But once we get all the bugs worked out of this, this is going to be one sweet little motor. It'll be perfect for somebody to play and have fun. They want to smoke the tires, just going to smoke the tires. They want to cruise it across the state, it'll cruise. So yeah. when I set the driver's side head on, yeah. Set the passenger side head on, I went, uh-oh. So this is a kind of another thing saying that when you want to build these custom motors, you best have all your parts, and you got to think 10 steps ahead of, okay, if we do this, what's it going to do to this and this and this? And oh, yeah, that's what gets frustrating with some of these builds, is you think you got it all figured out, and like one of you guys said, you think you got all this plumbing stuff, and then trip number 3 or 4 back to the store to get some stuff you forgot. So yeah, that's kind of how this is working out to be. And the reason this is sitting together like this, I was going to paint it, but the iron in here on the floor, and that's probably where my legs got in trouble yesterday. This iron is so cold, there's no way the paint's going to stick to this worth a dang on the floor. These just come up off the floor out of their bags, so yeah, wow. Almost makes you wonder if that block, when it, but you know, and like I said, all the extra, it seemed like the core shifted, and it put all the extra metal on the passenger side. It's because the driver's side's okay. I mean, he didn't take much off the block to begin with. But it did put the driver's side 12 thousandths out of the hole. And the passenger side was too far in. Plus it had a taper. So it makes me wonder too here at the same time. Would a CNC machine caught this? Saying, hey, this isn't right? Because you know they take their measurements and all that. Would a CNC machine have caught in this flaw with this block? Or would it have just compensated for it automatically? I don't know. So that means if these heads are that cold, those two 400s are just as cold. I need to get them up on stands, but I'm out of stands. I can get my two other stands. I got the wheels, but I don't have the metal to make the heads, and I don't have time to make them. And I had a place where I could bought the stuff for the heads, just like what I was making, and I lost that bookmark. And do you think we could find it again? Because the buddy that found it for me. So yeah, I mean, we're not getting too far down. The water pump areas are right. Actually, the two water pump, what's flat on the driver's side now matches on the passenger side. Now, oh, dang it. This here, that flat there, and that flat there, oops, that flat there, and that flat there, they actually match now. They're equal. The distance from there to there is equal now. So, there was a casting flaw with this block to begin with. We've got the pistons, we've got the distance from the crankshaft equal now. But now we just gotta, see, there you go, it's flush, and then sticking up. Okay, I get that. There you go. See? So this is actually too high, so it's going to have to take 30 to 40 thousandths, but going to have to do it at a, have to take less off this side and more off this side at the start to get that to be correct. Oh, yeah, I can hear it now. Oh, you could have bought a new dark block and everything cheaper. Well, not everybody's got the money to just open up a catalog and want a new block. And you know what? A new block could have similar problems or other kind of problems. Trying to do these on a budget. I mean, I mean, other than the new rods and new pistons, I mean, we're reusing older stuff, which is more than a, you know, this thing about, oh, it ain't gonna make that much horsepower. You know, not everything has to make 1,000 horsepower. There's, as you can see in the videos being made, 700 horse in these Camaros, Corvettes, Hellcats, and Chargers is too much because everybody's crashing them. So there's no reason to have 1,000 horsepower. You get a nice 375, 450 horsepower motor. That's more than enough for some people. And we're all individuals. Some of us don't want 700, 800, 900,000, 1,600 horsepower motors. It's not practical if you're going to have your street rod to go play in. Granted, this is going to be a tire smoking motor. It'll smoke tires just as good as 1,000 horse, but it'll be more economical for the person to have fun with it. Just because the guy down the street's got a 1,200 horse 6-second car doesn't mean I want it. Takes 9-10 seconds to get to where I want to go. Hey, that's my prerogative. So yeah. So But I guess as you go along using this old stuff, I mean, you can pick these up cheap. Machine costs into this so far ain't that bad, and since we've had to redeck it, I didn't. He said he should have caught that, and he stood behind it, so which is good. So yeah, we'll get it figured out. I mean, and then I gotta get some stock style replacement screw-in rocker arms ordered, because I forgot on these heads I'm going to have to pull them, and I finally got the puller I've been after for a long time, and I'm glad I shopped around and ended up finding it about $60 cheaper than where I was about ready to order it through. So telling you, think 10 steps ahead. Okay, we've done this, then done this. So does that mean the whole cam and lifters on this is setting up? Here's what's going to be interesting when I go to check the push rod lengths, just to make sure I get the right push rods in here. Do you think we're going to have troubles with that too? Yeah. You got to think about all that. And granted, I mean, I could, since these heads have been surfaced and this block has been surfaced, this block is in perfect shape to put a metal factory shim gasket in there. The problem is, the pistons would hit the heads, because they're 12 thousandths out of the hole. So yeah, by the time I put head gaskets on there and intake gaskets, I'm still not going to have enough area to put any RTV across the end of this and make it seal. I know that intake's going to bottom out before it gets tight. So oh, the things you got to keep thinking of. Guess I'll wait to hear from him, or actually I might go ahead and call him and see if he answers. So anyway, I guess here's another little quick video for you guys, and I'll go find the other 383 stuff leading up to this and get it on its playlist too. So yeah, if you guys are interested in these builds or some older builds, go check out my playlist on the left on the home page. I think that's where it's at. I don't know, it's somewhere on the home page, the playlist for these motor builds. So I'm kind of anxious to hear this thing fire up now. It just I've got a cam here I got to look up that I'm thinking about putting into this one, because I've had a couple of guys suggest the Mother Thumper cams, which would be more than enough for this, but I got still got the push-in studs, so I need to convert them over to the screw-in studs, which I've got that stuff, and now I've got the puller to pull these, so it doesn't take me 3 hours to pull these things. Yeah, so anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned, and it's going to be interesting to see what we got done for March 3rd. So see y'all later. Have a good one.